Hi everyone, welcome to the first edition of Mondays on the Mat with Emma. I'm super excited to be starting this new weekly blog. I'm actually sitting on my mat. You won't see that now, but I am. Today's session or edition will actually be more of a chat, just a little bit of an update on my new blog once a week. That will be coming out either on Facebook or that will be written. And today we'll be talking about the benefits of Pilates. So many of you, my followers, are here on Facebook and Instagram. I'm actually live on Instagram as well. I thought I'd do two at once. Many of you already know about Pilates, but for those of you who haven't tried Pilates or, have perhaps dabbled in it but never really felt the benefits or known really, why you were doing certain things, I thought it's a good chance to discuss some of the benefits and also relate it back to some of the movements that we do. So as you know, I'm passionate about Pilates and movement, and this is why I'm creating this weekly blog. So by the way, if you do come on live with me, please say hi in the comments below. I'd love to know that you're here, and I'd love to know that you can hear me okay. Hopefully the technology, yes, I've got some other technology is working. So please jump in the comments and say hello. I'd love to know who's here, and let me know where you're from as well. Feel free to ask me any questions during the live stream. That's why I've got the live option happening. I'd love to be able to help anyone who comes online with their Pilates journey or questions or anything to do with health and wellness. That's totally fine. So we can have a chat about any topics that you may be interested in. So getting back to today's focus, the benefits of Pilates, which many of us know already, but just to recap, most of us know Pilates as being to build core strength. And this is sort of the reputation that we have, which is true. That's definitely true. It's definitely about building core strength. But there's a bit of a misconception as to what core actually even is. So a lot of people think that that's just the tummy muscles, and it's definitely including the tummy muscles, don't get me wrong. The deep core muscles Pilates focuses on, not just your six-pack, and we all have the six-pack, so it's definitely there. It's more about the deep core muscles, but the core actually is, got a few people who've joined. Hello, how are you? Thank you for waving. So the core is actually made up of not only our tummy muscles, but also pelvic floor, glutes, back muscles, and also shoulder girdle and muscles, and even the neck. So it's kind of our whole trunk. So even though everyone starts to join Pilates for core strength, what they don't realize is they're actually joining to get a bit more of a body strengthening class than they were probably aware of. So we do focus a lot on integrating the body, those parts that I talked about. A lot of the movements do come from the core. This is what our focus is. So every movement we do is focused from the center of our body. And this is why you do definitely build core strength. So the core, like I mentioned, is made up of tummy muscles, but also back and glutes and shoulders. So for this reason, it's really good to do Pilates to help with any back pain. So that's another reason why Pilates is fantastic. It helps to reduce pain and also prevent injury. So if you do have any injuries, for example, back injury, that could be disc bulge, that could be alignment of bones that are causing you to have pain in the muscles or the back. Basically, this is great for any of our injuries, but specifically for the spine, because the need for the muscles to be strong around the spine to support the spine if there is an injury is really important. So we often focus on the core the back muscles, the tummy muscles, and that helps to keep the vertebra in the spine aligned, and also the muscles around it strong to support perhaps any injury you may have, which could be disc bulge, for example. So this is why it's always recommended that we do Pilates when we often have a back injury. You'll often get referred to do Pilates. On that note, there are different types of Pilates that you can do. So don't just think that going to a group class is going to be fine if you have an injury. This is really important, and a lot of us Pilates instructors kind of go, oh, that's nice that you've been recommended to do Pilates, but your doctor should have said to do privates or to do very small groups if you have had an injury. So it's just something to note. If you do happen to have an injury, always try and go for a private session or a very small group so that you can be looked after. Because some of the exercises that we do can actually create more pain if you do have an injury, if you're not doing them correctly. So it's important to make sure when you first start that you get privates or small group. So going back to the prevention of injury and relieving of pain, often our bodies are actually in pain due to either weak muscles or sometimes tight muscles, or our body's out of alignment, and it's all obviously interlinked. But it's important that you have a balanced body. And so Pilates really helps to make sure that you're not too strong in certain muscles and too weak, obviously, in other muscles. It ensures that you have equal and efficient movement. So if we happen to be weak, perhaps, for example, a lot of us now sit many hours in the day and our glutes can get very weak. And this often can lead to back pain because the glutes, as I mentioned at the beginning, are part of the core. So it's important to have strong glutes to support your back. So for example, in class, we may make sure you're strengthening your glutes, but look at the body as a whole. So you'll still also work your core, your legs. We'll keep the whole integration of the body happening as we focus on the glutes. And this is where Pilates actually differs from standard exercise forms of exercise. For example, your conventional weightlifting tends to be shortening the muscles, often focusing on working the same muscles, and that sometimes can then create injury. That can then lead to imbalance. So if you're always constantly working the same muscles, you may be missing out on working others, and those muscles that you're repeating constantly with the strengthening can then, if they're too strong, create obviously imbalance and creating weakness in other areas or emphasizing weakness in other areas. So it's important, and this is what we do really well in Pilates, is we work the body as a whole. We work the body equally. We work the muscles equally. So you'll find that we actually give you a very big overall workout, is down to the feet. You know, you can you don't even get away with the feet not working. And the feet is so important because that helps in everyday life. How we walk, how we function, how we run if you're an athlete. So just focusing, for example, on biceps if you're in the gym is not really a overall functional workout. We do obviously work biceps in our Pilates, but we, as I said, we work the body as a whole. So this obviously then helps to create more efficiency in our body, in our movement. When there's more efficiency, we have less energy expenditure, less kind of energy blocks in the body, if you like, if you're a yoga person and you work with energy. It also makes the comfort, I guess, of everyday life a little nicer. So you know that if you're feeling aches and pains, then you can't sit comfortably, you can't enjoy certain exercises or movement or everyday activities. For example, playing with the kids. If you can't lean over and you're not flexible and strong without feeling pain in your back, then ideally we want comfort in our everyday life. So Pilates is great for keeping us mobile, for keeping us agile and flexible. So we also focus on flexibility, not as much as in yoga, but we do, in the movements themselves, we're actually becoming more flexible. Because when we're strengthening certain muscles, the opposite muscles will be getting a stretch. So generally, you feel when you're stronger after doing Pilates, you actually feel that your posture's improved, your alignment of your body feels good, and we always focus on posture. This is another great thing. Posture is the key throughout all the exercises, or giving you the right posture, making sure that your body is aligned as we are doing the exercises. By the way, if you come on board and you've just joined me, please say hi in the comments. I'm not sure if I can't actually see my comments. Mira's there. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah, so please say hi if you've come on board. So yeah, the body posture, as I was saying, is super important. We focus a lot on aligning your body as you're doing the exercises. And this is great because, for example, if you're rounded in the shoulders and you're doing your exercises with your posture from the day after working on the computer, you're going to just emphasize this posture if you continue working out with your shoulders like this. So what we ask you to do is, hi Mira, we are, oh good, I'm glad you found me here. This is the Facebook page today. Yes, I'm live on the Facebook page. So yeah, when we work out with good posture, for example, opening the chest, then we're emphasizing this movement. We're strengthening the body in this position, which is important. So we're always, without you even realizing it, helping you with your posture. Obviously, the certain exercises that we teach, because we focus a lot on back work, for example, they do help with your posture, but all of the alignments and all of the corrections that we give are actually helping you get back into your good posture. And the ideal, what we hope as instructors, is as you leave the mat or the class, that you continue to remember your good posture tips and your tips and awareness of your body throughout your day. That brings me to another point about Pilates. Lots of benefits. I could talk all day, obviously. The body and mind connection is really huge. So we don't just mindlessly exercise and not think about what we're doing. We are continually thinking about the area of the body that we're working. So it's a fantastic way to bring you into the present moment. So those of you who are not yogis, or you don't practice so much mindfulness or meditation, without you realizing, even doing your Pilates, this is a form of meditation in some way, if you are focused on your body. If your mind isn't off doing your shopping list, if you're actually focusing on the areas you're supposed to be working, then it becomes a mindful practice. So we always focus on the breath, for example. This is huge in our Pilates. We are focusing on the movements, coordinating with the breath. So anytime we cue an exercise, we usually also cue the breathing. And so it's a natural way for you to, again, be connected to your body and to come back to the present moment. So anytime we're off planning our day, thinking in our head of what we're doing, past or future, we're not really with our body. We're not connected. So the Pilates practice, always reminding you to come back to your body, to come back to your center, to your breath, is a really great way to reduce stress, for example, to relax your body. Sure, you're doing work, but you're working out, but you're also helping your body relax by focusing on the breathing. As long as you're not getting too wound up about not doing the exercises correctly, which can stress some people, and also not getting too caught up in the breath. Sometimes it's normal for people not to be in sync with the breathing that we're teaching. And this is another big topic for another day, but it's okay when you first start Pilates not to be doing the same breath pattern that we teach. There's a lot to think about. So as I said, it's a mind-body exercise, form of exercise. So you really do need to take your time. It comes with practice. And I think a lot of people are quite hard on themselves when they begin Pilates. They want to understand it all right now, right then and there. But it actually is a bit of a journey. It's a practice that you never stop learning, and your improvement happens over time. Sometimes we store things in our body that we don't even know about. Our body can be, for example, tense in one area. If you've just come on board, please say hi. I'd love to know if you're joining me. So if your body holds tension, sometimes your body's not actually even ready to release that tension. So sometimes the body won't even respond to a cue that we may be asking you to do. But this is another topic for another day. I can get very in depth into certain topics. Hi, Danny. I hope you're well. So on that note, that's a lot of the benefits. One of the benefits that a lot of people often wonder about too is, hi, Paul, is the kia ora. Hi, Jules. See, a lot of people wonder about having longer, leaner muscles, and often Pilates advertises this. Just to set something straight, you can't actually change the length of your muscle. It attaches in one area and integrates into the other area, into the other area, and those 2 points don't change. But what you can notice with Pilates is that we don't shorten the muscles as much. We don't probably end up as kind of bulkier muscles as you would if you go to the gym. And that's because we focus on probably not as obviously bigger load in weight, but also we have 2 directions of focus with the muscles when they contract. So the contraction when you shorten the muscle is the concentric contraction, but also we focus on lengthening the muscle. We focus on both directions, the eccentric as well, so releasing. We don't just let everything go. We release the muscles slowly. But the body is worked as a whole, which is another reason as well. We're not just solely focused on one area, repeating and repeating. So yes, you can achieve longer looking, leaner muscles from Pilates, but just know that your muscles will not get longer, literally. But yes, it's often something that people tend to ask about regularly. So I guess the only other benefit I wanted to mention, two, seeing who's on Instagram as well. Hi, guys. It's great for sports performance as well. So if you are an athlete, there's a lot of athletes now and sports professionals doing Pilates. If you do Pilates, you're getting more of an overall workout, like we've talked about. You're getting more detail in the workout. You're getting a more balanced workout as well. So thinking about the exercises as you're doing them and elongating the body, Like I said before, even working your ankles. This is all going to improve your sports performance. So if you do play any sports, definitely add Pilates to your routine, your exercise routine, because it will improve performance. That's guaranteed. You will work out your own methods of training in a different way. You'll apply some of the principles of Pilates to your training. And often that's why golfers use Pilates. Well, a lot of rugby guys now are using it. They're realizing how good it is, the benefits, because it helps balance the body. So, for example, if you're kicking with one leg constantly, that side of the body is going to feel or get worked out a lot more, perhaps feel tighter or stronger. So it's important to balance the other side as well. Same with your golf swing. If your body is always doing the same repetitive movement, then it's going to become imbalanced. And it's when you start to help balance the body again that you see more efficiency in the movements or the exercises you're doing, or the game you're playing, if we're talking sport. And Pilates is fantastic for everyone. So, it's a misconception that it's for women. As Paul knows, if he's still on board, he me when he was in my living in my condo, and his lovely wife Barb is part of my CoreFit club. So yes, it's great for men. A lot of guys sort of wonder, what are we doing lying on the floor, lifting our legs up and down? But actually, when you do try it, it actually is quite challenging when you do understand the principles of Pilates. It's great for everyone because, like I said, it balances the body. It improves flexibility. It improves your strength and in general posture. So we can all do with improving those areas. Obviously, because many of us sit a long time during the day. And those of you who stand a lot for your job, then it's great as well, because you can tend to get into bad habits of leaning, to one side. If you're standing a long time, your back starts to sometimes ache. If you've joined me, please say hi. I'd love to know who's on board. It's great for everyone. It's even good for the aging population. So, and that's all of us, I guess. But it's quite a gentle form of, can be a gentle form of exercise, depending on how it's taught. But it's also obviously able to be modified. So, we can take it a little further and teach you stronger versions of Pilates, but also regress and teach more modified versions. So it's, some of my clients that I have in my CoreFit club or even in my classes sometimes, in their late 60s. And not saying that's aging population. I'm just using that as an example of, the range that can do Pilates. Okay, and the oldest client I taught was probably 84 or 5 at the time. A guy that I used to train in his home, and his wife actually, she was in her late 70s, and he was just he would sit on the chair, and I would still train him on the chair. So it's possible, and it's great for everyone. So yeah, lots of plugs about Pilates, lots of benefits, obviously. And the core was supposed to be 10 minutes, but I think I've done about 25 now. So I can go on a big rant, obviously. This is the first of Mondays on the mat. And thank you for those who have joined me. There's a few people who are still on Instagram. Hello. I definitely have spoken more than probably I planned, but I think it's been all good information. Say hi if you've joined me. I'd love to know who's on board. And please, if you're here with me now, still live, let me know if you have any questions about anything I've spoken about anything you'd like to know while I'm here and available. Pilates related, injury, exercise in general, whatever comes to mind. And if there's no questions, then no problem. This will be on a replay. I'll be emailing it out to those of you who are on my email list. If you would like to be on my mailing list and you're not already, I'll put a link just below this video on Facebook. Won't be able to do that on Instagram, but please go to my Pilates Online Facebook page if you haven't already liked it. Go and check out this post. It will be on the top. I'll pin it to the top. You can sign up for my newsletters where I'll send out these regular weekly updates to your inbox. I won't always do videos. I'll sometimes have a written blog. But next week I plan to do a mini class. So if you want to join me, I'll do just a 10-minute class that will be great if you've been at your desk for the morning, or you just need to stretch and limber up if you haven't done the exercise for the day. Please join me. And please let me know if you have any questions. Send me an email, drop me a message on Facebook even after the call is fine. I'll be able to get that. Just place it in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'd love to hear if anyone has any requests for a topic to discuss for any of the future Mondays on the Mat. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.